Following sanctions placed on Russia, Lithuania has reportedly blocked key resources to Kaliningrad, an exclave of Russia surrounded by NATO member states. Russia is calling the blockade illegal and threatening retaliation. If conflict erupts between Lithuania and Russia, as a NATO member state, the U.S. and other NATO countries are forced to intervene, and thus, my friends, we may find ourselves in legitimately World War III.
Okay, while this is kind of a big deal, this is not actually true. This is from an article by Peter Hitchens, so I will likely take this as credible. To quote, "As for the famous pledge of Article 5, that each member would come to the assistance of any other if under attack, it is wiser not to read if you have a sensitive or idealistic disposition. If you do read it, you find it contains a sizable escape route. A very cunning British diplomat once explained to me that the US Senate would never have ratified the NATO treaty if it had been a genuine obligation, and that is why it isn't one. The clause says that each signatory will assist the party or parties so attacked by taking forthwith, individually and in concert with the other parties, such actions as it deems necessary, including the use of armed force," the emphasis added. "The member states remain free to choose whether to deem force necessary or to use force at all. Action not including force is clearly implied as a possible response. Hence the constant Cold War doubt, especially among Germans, that a US president would sacrifice Chicago or Los Angeles for Frankfurt or Munich when it came to it. Europe-based cruise missiles in the 1980s were all about making a shaky nuclear commitment look more credible. Famously, the only time Article 5 has ever been activated was after the 9/11 terrorist massacre. In that case, it was the non-American member states who, sort of, fulfilled their obligations to the United States. For many reasons, it was difficult for them to attack the culprits of the outrage. So instead, we had the long failed engagement of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization in Afghanistan, perhaps as far from the North Atlantic as it is possible to get."